Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. We're just recovering here after that extraordinary Clásico. Of course, Barcelona winning by 4-0 against Real Madrid. Ali Moreno with us. Don joins us. Gab as well. We start actually away from the Clásico.
Oh.
I think we can all agree that PSG should never be a yardstick for measuring how good a team is. PSG has not won an away match against a top 7 team in the league this season. Gab, you work with Jules. Yeah, Gab.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time wondering about stats like that. Who cares? They're a million points ahead of the others. There's many reasons for it. It's not just because they have more money. I think it's also because this season in particular, everybody in the chasing pack, be it Marseille, be it Nice, be it Monaco, obviously Lille further behind, they've all screwed up. They haven't gotten consistency. They've been up and down. Lyon with Peter Bosz. So I think that's the main reason why they're that far ahead. They've been inconsistent, but the people behind them simply have just been up and down and continuously, 1 point, drop points. Like watching Conte's Spurs of late when they were winning, losing, winning, losing.
Yeah. They won 1. 1-1-1.
You okay?
Well, they won 1. Now they're going to 1-1-1-1.
But they won a second one.
Yeah, exactly. They won 1.
Okay.
Not 1 loss, 1 loss, 1. 1-1.
I have no idea what you just said.
Should players who blatantly dive, like Vinicius Jr, but don't receive a yellow card in game, receive some kind of post-match punishment to our resident diver, Mr. Alejandro Moreno?
Well, doesn't that constitute re-refereeing the match? Isn't that part of what we're trying to avoid?
Don't we want to put off that sort of behaviour?
Well, okay.
It was a very naughty dive.
If you really think that that's going to divert people from embellishing or simulating, you're wrong. VAR is not doing that. The fact that we can see the replay in slow motion and somebody sitting in front of a computer can tell us, hey, what's wrong with Gab? Is he having a problem?
I love Gab.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Hey, every time you give me this, Gab, I know you're angry at me. So what is the problem?
Go on.
What is it?
I am not angry. I am just offering. I humbly dissent. I understand VAR cannot intervene because they're not allowed to intervene in yellow cards. However, a yellow card for simulation, in my opinion, should be treated differently. They're not going to go and do it retroactively for the reason that you said, Ali. It's considered re-refereeing, which is supposedly some massive taboo. Except for the most egregious cases. But in a situation like this, where the referee is a million miles behind, he does the best he can. He can't be sure that there was a dive. He thinks it might be a non-call. We've got VAR to tell us that, all right, it's not a penalty. Ter Stegen didn't get him. But you can't expect him to also be 100% certain that he dived. When you look at the video, it's very, very obvious what he's doing, pulling up, putting on the brakes like that. I think that should be a special case where the VAR can be able to tell the referee, hey, this guy deserves a yellow. Because this is not something that we need in the game. From there, if I'm Ancelotti, I would go and pinning him to the wall and being like, are you really telling me, Vinicius, you're not confident enough to be able to beat, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen one-on-one from there? Why are we playing you? If that's not the case. So,
if I'm Ancelotti...
for me, that's the most worrying thing.
If I'm Ancelotti, the most worrying thing for me in pinning Vinicius to the wall would be, why was your first touch so poor going in a 1v1 situation against Ter Stegen? Not the fact that he's trying to draw a penalty. Here's the thing. He recognized that his touch got away from him and he said, well, I need to make a play here to make sure that I get something out of this. That's all there is to it. And that's not going to stop whether you use VAR or not on dives. That's not going to stop whether you use it retroactively or not. It's not going to stop. It is within the makeup of players. And I can tell you, if I were playing the game right now and I had a poor touch just like Vinicius did, and the only option that I had was to drag my feet to try to see if I got a penalty, I would have done exactly the same thing. And people are going to tell me, oh my God, how could you do that? Oh boy, oh no, I can't believe that you would do that. This is so beyond the honesty and the fair play of the game. You can keep that to yourself. I'll keep playing the game the way I want to.
Ali, I can fully believe that you might have had a bad first touch, like Vinicius, occasionally, maybe even more often than him. However, I imagine that if you're going to do that, if you're going to dive and try to salvage something, you're going to be closer than Ter Stegen and make sure that you make contact with him so you don't look like a Muppet falling over when you're a meter away from him.
Well, so now,
that's the difference.
So now what we're arguing is that Vinicius is a bad diver, not the fact that he dove. And that's a different conversation altogether. He can come over to my camp and we'll teach him correctly how to do it.
Don, where do you stand on a special yellow yellow diving card?
Yes, I say VAR gets involved and you get a 1 minute sin bin.
Boom, there we go. Okay, you know what? I'd rather keep talking to Gab about this than this nonsense.
What is a 1 minute sin bin going to do? Blooming heck, Don.
Get him in the sin bin for a minute.
What does that do? That makes no difference to my children. It's not going to make any difference to Vinicius Jr.
Sin bin.
For Mancotti, I'm putting Don in a sin bin for 60 seconds.
Or more.
Hazard is not even a sub-option for Madrid anymore. Is it just being bad? Is it Ancelotti not trusting him? Or something deeper than what meets the eye?
I think I know Carlo Ancelotti pretty well after 25 years. We're that old. If he thought that Hazard could contribute, he would give him space, maybe off the bench or whatever. He clearly doesn't think that he's right. And Carlo Ancelotti is not a man who ever holds grudges or anything like that. He hasn't ridden him off because he's got more years in his contract either. He would love to play him if he could. It's just simply, evidently, he doesn't think that he's physically right to be able to contribute. And he feels that, he's got other options, even in a game like this, whether it's Asensio or Mariano, or he had Luka Jovic in there too, on the bench as well. I think that's what tells you that he'd rather have a fit Mariano than whatever Hazard might offer right now.
What would surprise us within your WhatsApp exchanges with Carlo Ancelotti, Cam?
Oh.
What do you mean, what would surprise you?
Well, with the content of the conversation, maybe we'd think one thing, oh, there's Carlo Ancelotti sending a meme, I don't know, of Vinicius Jr. sat in timeout.
Sin bin.
No, I could tell you the obvious things. If you want to, he loves to talk about football. He gets excited about it.
Yeah,
and he also loves to talk about food as well.
Oh, it's your favorite man.
I'm revealing any big secret there, but yes.
Oh. Does he send you pictures of well-done steaks?
Yes.
And pineapple on pizza? Yes. Just to show you. His eyebrow gets really excited when he does that. It's because of his head. Right. Don, with Aubameyang's form at Barcelona, are Arsenal regretting selling him, or has Xavi found the way to get the very best of him? He could never be found on the 6-yard box in an Arsenal jersey under Arteta.
Do you know, Dan, I was on the show a couple of days ago and I was listening to all the chat about El Clasico. And I was thinking to myself, because I'd done the game against Galatasaray in Turkey, and Aubameyang had an absolute stinker. He scored a tap-in from a yard, but his general hold-up play was awful. It was abysmal. Kept bouncing off him. And I was listening to all the chat, and I was listening. I'm thinking, if someone comes to me now with a prediction for the Clasico, I would say Barca have got absolutely no chance of beating Real Madrid. And then I watched it tonight and I thought, thank goodness no one come to me for a prediction.
Oh, Don. Fair play for the honesty, though. That's why Don never dove. Is Barcelona the team to win La Liga next season, Ali? Would they have won it this season if they had all the players they signed during the winter transfer window at the beginning of the season?
There's a lot of ifs there.
Ooh, yeah, if you got Xavi and you got those players.
Right. And obviously you've had a full year then of working with this player, so you assume that this is only going to get better if you're Xavi and these players. What I would say is that Real Madrid seem to be trending in the wrong direction. Barcelona is coming up, and they seem to be meeting at this point where we saw today, where you're seeing some signs from Real Madrid that are worrying. The lack of athleticism to the midfield, and I love that midfield from Real Madrid, and I've defended that midfield from Real Madrid, but man, they could not get close to Barcelona today. They could not play with the same sort of intensity. Defensively, there were issues. In the attack, there were issues. I'm going to say that if Xavi had the same group of players he has now from the very beginning of the season, they would have won La Liga.
How miserable is Messi, Don?
Messi?
Yeah.
It looks ridiculously miserable. I mean, he's just nowhere near the levels, is he? And that's horrible to say.
No, but how was it? I don't think you heard me, Don. No, how was he feeling? He sat there out of the Champions League, lost against Monaco. I know you're sitting on a lot of money. Watching Barcelona do that, the excitement of the Clasico, he sat there going,
Do you know, Dan, I listened to Aubameyang when he signed for Barca and he got asked about Arsenal and I'm paraphrasing, but he more or less said, I've took a massive pay cut to play for Barcelona. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I reckon off the record, if you said to Messi, you can go back to Barcelona and you'll be on, I'll use this sort of...
10 quid a week.
10 quid a week. And you go and play for Barcelona because you've earned millions and millions out of the game, but you'll play for the club that you absolutely adore and the fans adore you. I bet he'd consider it.
Dani Alves said that, didn't he? In that interview with Martin Einstein, he's saying, that's where he came back, he forced the move. And he would hope that maybe Lionel Messi could do the same in the future. It's back to Gab's boy. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, it's been a long day. Is Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid next season, Gab?
Text him.
Yeah, exactly. FaceTime now.
They have
Hello.
They had a 10-point margin going into this game. 10 points, right? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know where Paris Saint-Germain are, but certainly in the top 4 leagues, nobody has such a big gap this season, right? This after the sort of summer where, again, they didn't necessarily really spend on the squad other than Alaba, who was on a free transfer in Camavinga, and they lost Ramos and whatnot, and with a bunch of players who are there as passengers because they're waiting for their contracts to wind down. They're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League where they're playing Chelsea, a team that has effectively been sequestered because of the sanctions against their owners. I don't think Real Madrid are going to make any decision on Carlo Ancelotti until the summer, nor should they. I disagree with what Ali said earlier that Barcelona would have won the league if everybody had been there. If my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. The reality is, they lost this, and I think it's Ancelotti's fault that they lost it because he chose the completely wrong formation. Benzema's not there, so rather than playing the same way with a worse center forward than Benzema, I'm going to try and be clever and come up with something with Modric and Kroos further forward and whatever, and it blew up in his face. So that's on him. But from there to deciding that he needs to go because he lost a Clasico at home 4-0. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at that stage.
Yeah, Ali, I don't know why you want him sacked.
First of all, I didn't say that. Second of all, I'm only answering the question that you asked.
Well,
right?
Look,
I'm only doing my job, but apparently Gab doesn't want me to do my job.
Well, you bring up Gab's auntie, and it just all goes.
No, he brought his auntie by himself. I didn't bring his auntie at all. All I'm suggesting is that if indeed you had the same group of players and seeing what we're seeing from that group of players.
Yes, we know, right. Should PSG look to sign Dembélé, Ali?
You love Gab, don't you?
He's been in good form recently.
Just bring Gab to do the show.
Don't sulk now, Ali. Come, we've had a lovely day. Let's not ruin it now because we're all tired. Should PSG look to sign Dembélé? He's been in good form recently when he's played, and they'll need a winger if and when Mbappe leaves.
I have an idea. The Ali and Jules podcast. That's it. And then Gab can come over here. It'll be great for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done with you.
Dembélé, PSG?
I'm done with you just like I'm done with PSG. Gab just mentioned that PSG should focus on bringing players through, right? And, man, if there was a player that if you're PSG, you stay away from, given what we have seen from him and the totality of his work at Barcelona, not the last 3 weeks, but the totality of his work at Barcelona, you stay away from Dembélé because that's throwing money at a player that has a history of injuries and a history of inconsistency, which you already have at PSG.
Ali, you said that Real Madrid were going to win the Champions League. Do you still think they can do that?
Sometimes I think people don't listen.
No, he didn't say that. Huh? Ali, after the Madrid performance, do you still think Real Madrid can win the Champions League?
Okay, sometimes people just don't listen. All I said that for you, because you are a Real Madrid fan, I would, and everybody had said all the teams that you would expect. I said, why not Real Madrid? That's all I said.
Yeah. Okay.
So what is your question now?
That was the question. Can they win the Champions League, Real Madrid?
Not playing like this, no, they can't. Nope.
Still Southampton with that big upset, just as you predicted against Manchester City today, Don.
Well, for 45 minutes, I've got to correct that. Blew up on my face in the second half.
If my aunt had wheels.
should be. What is it saying? If my aunt should be a bicycle?
It should be a bicycle, yes.
Okay. Wow.
There's a more graphic description that we can't use.
Oh, okay. All right.
Final one. We know that Dan's favourite dessert is unburnt creme brulee. I do like creme brulee without the brulee. What is everybody else's? Oh, this is going to be an eclectic mix, most definitely. Don, your favourite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I don't like coffee.
That or banoffee pie.
Don't like
That or
coffee.
banoffee pie.
Banoffee pie?
Yeah. What?
Banoffee pie.
Okay, you have
It's
got
a
to.
banana and coffee, hence banoffee
Okay.
pie.
All right. Okay, I get it now. I
There
didn't
you
know
are.
that.
There you are.
Yeah, I learned something today.
There you are. Beautiful. Gab, your favourite dessert?
First of all, I like banoffee pie too. It's not banana. It's not banana and coffee, Dan. You should know this.
What is it?
It's banana and toffee. Banana and toffee.
yes,
That's
yes,
why
sorry.
it's called
Yes,
banoffee.
my mistake. My mistake. I got tiramisu. Yeah.
Like I was going to balance out Don by choosing some nice English dessert, since he was nice enough to choose an Italian one.
Yes.
I might have gone with Eton Mess or Spotted
like an
Dick
Eton Mess,
or
yeah.
some other. Yes, but no. On a weekend where Italy's rugby team won their first Six Nations game after I think 35 consecutive defeats by beating Wales with a last-minute try. I'm gonna fly the flag. I'm just gonna go out and say tiramisu again.
Yes.
What are you saying yes for, Don?
As if he's
Because
winning
it's amazing.
something.
What?
That's amazing.
You didn't
That
even
and
know
an
what was
Irish
in
coffee.
banoffee pie.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was coffee as well. What about an Irish coffee?
Irish coffee's not a dessert.
What? Yeah, it can be. Don't have a dessert.
God.
Tiramisu's the winner. Tiramisu's the winner.
My grandmother's key lime pie.
Oh, yes.
And that is some sort of delicious.
You were saying it's so much better than your wife's efforts.
Dan, I love my wife with all my heart. I am passionate about the love that I have for my wife.
Just not a key lime pie.
But my grandmother's key lime pie.
I tell you what, banana split as well. I love a banana split. Fantastic. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I'm hungry now. That is it. We are done. I tell you, a little bit calm now over the next few days. Of course, the international break. Hey, we're still going to be here. A lot more fallout, I imagine, from what we saw in our Classico.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.